You're way too
Scared?
used to a bronze lot. Yeah, you're way too scared, dude. You're always just like, they're gonna counter jungle, they're gonna take my early buffs.
What? You realize wait, I don't. Where are you getting scared from?
No, you are.
No, if anything, I'm too aggressive.
No, you're just acting way too scared, dude.
I have no idea what you mean.
Okay, go start up the replay.
I am.
Go into that game, start up the replay. Alright. You're acting like people going one buff, ganking, and then like going one buff, then their other one, and then going straight to your other buff that you didn't start is normal. That is not normal.
No, what is normal if you're a smart jungler is if you see the jungler ganking bottom and you know they started blue and they don't have red, you go take their red. You punish them. You get something in return. That's normal.
Okay, but why are you ganking?
Because they're shoved up. It's easy ganks.
Yeah, but it's not. Okay, whatever. Okay, let's just go like 130 and let's watch Lee start. Because if you think you're gonna get camped every game, every single game I have played with you, you have acted like they're gonna start your red or their red, go to their blue, or no, they're gonna start your red and then go to their blue and then like jungle. That does not happen very often.
No, I acted like they had taken my red, which they did. I didn't know at what exact point they did. In all those games, they took my red, so...
Early game, they took your red.
Yes. You do not remember that? I specifically said, damn, they took my red.
Okay, dude. Alright. I'm sorry. I can't. I
What?
can't. You refuse to listen, man.
You refuse to be wrong.
To listen
You refuse to be wrong.
who are better than you. Like, I'm sorry, dude, but I'm better than you. You need to accept that. Like, it's just the truth.
Anivia, sure.
If you can't accept that, you just need to stop playing League. Because there are going to be people that are better than you. And me, I'm better
Yeah.
than you. Like,
Anivia, sure.
Look at the match history and see. Like, it's not even just at Anivia. In map play,
Match history, okay. Because it's impossible to get trolls.
You really need to just look at fucking games and be like, okay, this game is a fresh game. It doesn't fucking matter what happened last game. I'll take the lessons I learned, but not.
Except you're the one that's acting like that doesn't happen. Like I have no idea.
I totally accept that it happens once in 500 games, like once in 50 games maybe, if you're being super fucking generous. It does not happen as often as you fucking think it does. You are sitting at a bronze 5 logic, dude, every fucking game. You're just like, alright, this is the game in bronze, they're gonna cheese, because that's how they play. Ha! Ha ha!
I like how you're completely assuming things.
Okay? Alright, bronze 5 players.
Oh, yes, oh. Did you see? Wait, did you see Yasuo die top?
Like, no, I pushed the fucking replay because it's useless to go over it because you're not gonna fucking listen anyway because you're just gonna be, yeah, but like that one time it happened and I got super cheesed and set super
no. See, here's the issue.
Fucking matter, man. That one time is an outlier. That's what we call an outlier. That's something that doesn't happen.
Wait, you're complaining about me ganking bot, but I get kills because of it.
And I started blue side and alright, so I start blue, take my grump and go to my red. Guess what? Oh shit, they took my red. Damn it. Well, guess what? Next game, I'm not gonna go into the mindset like I got counter juggled last game. I'm gonna get counter juggled this game. Because that's not how fucking solo queue works. I'm sorry that you don't know how fucking solo queue works, but you need to accept that. Every game is different. You're not against the same people unless you're in fucking D1 or higher. And you are not. You need to accept that every game is different. Every game has variables. There are no two similarities. If you're scared of getting early ganked, or scared of getting early counter jungled, ward early and adapt. If you really think every fucking game you're getting your red buff stolen, then something is wrong with the way you're playing. You are refusing to adapt. You are being a stiff player, and a stiff player in League of Legends is a bad player. You have to be flexible. You have to be adaptive. There's a reason that this game burns through so many fucking people, because it changes all the goddamn time. And if you go into every single game with a solid logic that this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, cookie cutter bullshit, you're never gonna get anywhere. Go into every game with a fresh mindset, thinking anything can happen, anything can go wrong. It doesn't matter that one game you got counter jungled and your red got stolen. Do not play every single game like you got counter jungled. Do not play every game like you are behind. You're Diana jungle. You're not that strong early. That's fine. But you actually clear pretty damn fast. You clear faster than early Lee. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I don't really play a lot of jungles with Diana. But Diana's a pretty fucking fast jungler. Like, she clears safely as well because she's got that shield. It's on a pretty low cooldown, like 9 seconds, I think, something like that. But you really need to accept every game is going to be different, man. Every single game. There are no two games where you can look at and everything will be the same. Every movement, every counter, every fucking jungle monster that is taken will be different in every single game you play. There are no two same games you will ever play. Ever. So stop acting like they are.
Except,
Stop trying to shove every game through your perfect little cookie cutter that says you get counter jungled early. If you're so scared of getting counter jungled early, then start red. It's not that bad. Go Gromp into red, or no, sorry, that's old jungle. Go red, and then straight to your blue. Do that. I don't really care. But this, I'm getting counter jungled every game, and oh, my red's getting taken every single early game. That is bullshit. That is just, that is wrong. I'm sorry, that's wrong.
What's funny
Holy
is
fuck.
what's funny is I've been a jungle main since season 3, so I know how junglers work. If you're a good jungler, if you see somebody bot, you go into their jungle and you punish them for it. I'm not saying they start my red every single game. I'm saying there's a good chance my red is taken if I'm bot for a minute doing a gank. As for why I went bot so early, it resulted. Once again, look at. Okay, once again, yes it is. Our bot lane got a double kill because of my gank. You cannot tell me a double kill is not worth it because guess what? It is.
But you also dicked around for like fucking 45 seconds doing fucking shit all. I don't even know what you were fucking doing, but you could have easily taken your red, gotten level 3, and gone bot. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, okay, so no, if you want to know specifically what happened, no, you want, I hit level 3 because this was the clear I did. I started blue, I went Gromp, I went wolves, and then I cleared out Scuttlecrab to control vision, and then I went bot for the vision.
I can't do it, Cat. I just, oh my god, dude.
That's because, okay, one, you're acting condescending. 2, you're assuming things. Like, I am more than happy to explain to you.
Shoving your Diana dick into the game, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get fucked early. Yeah, he said fuck my ass. Yeah, here.
Okay, well, see, here's another thing. One.
Here, I'll open my ass for you and shove it into your mouth. Yeah, fuck my ass, Lee. Fuck it. Fuck my ass.
You also have to realize that once
and show you have no buff, of course you're gonna get counter jungled because that's fucking terrible. If you give someone a 3 buff start, that is never worth it. I'm sorry, it's never worth it. You're giving the jungler such a massive experience lead, and you're putting all your confidence in the bot lane to carry. Don't fucking do that.
There is no way. There is in no world. There is in no world where I will sacrifice 2 kills bot for a buff. That is not worth it whatsoever.
Are you living in last patch when fucking you would go like what is it? Krugs to red for level 3? That doesn't happen anymore, man.
And how many times have you seen me start red? So no.
Holy fucking
I specifically told you the start I had. I went blue, I went Gromp, I went wolves, then I went Scuttlecrab, then I went bot for the 2 kills bot. So yes, that is completely worth it.
Accept your start, but the fact that you do it every fucking game is completely stupid. I'm sorry, it's fucking retarded. You need to alter your playstyle to the way the game is going.
So the first 3 minutes, okay. Let me explain to you. I'm a Diana jungle. I have terrible ganks. I can't counter gank someone 3 minutes. So when I start blue, I hit level 3. I control Scuttlecrab to try and help out my bot lane, and then I go from there. They were pushed up. It was an easy gank. Or I go mid, relieve a little bit of pressure. No, because
what did you say about 30 seconds ago? It had something to do with Diana ganks.
That she's not the best early. She needs 6.
That's it! Perfect, that's the words I wanted to hear. Okay, so, why the fuck do you early gank level 3 every game? It's never fucking worth it. It's never fucking worth it. Take your fucking early buffs. If you give up your topside jungle early game, you're giving it up for so long. You're giving up your 2nd buff because he has the timer. You're giving up your 3rd buff because he still has the timer. You're giving up everything. You're giving up giving up your fucking
See,
bugs, you're giving up your raptors.
see,
You're
now
giving up
you're the
your
one living in an old
fucking
patch.
scanner clones,
Getting
you're giving up everything. You're
getting the
giving up
timer.
super easy gank path towards top lane.
Getting the timer is as simple
Like,
as getting into vision of red. So it's not like I'm letting him take every single red. And for the instance, he took the first one, he did not take the second. So
yeah, because
while
you left your second one up for 8 fucking minutes. It was terrible, dude. If any competent jungler would have been like, all right, his red's up. I see it because of fucking global timers. His red is up, but he doesn't have it. I'm gonna go take his red.
yes,
You're handing him free experience and gold. You're handing a Lee Sin early fucking buffs and leads. Don't do that. Please. Don't fucking do that. You will make the game a living hell for your team. A good Lee Sin will shit on you no matter fucking what. And it makes it even easier if he has 3 fucking buffs early in the game. Please, for the love of God, take your early buffs. That's all I fucking ask. Go from your blue to Grump or to Wolves or to whatever fucking second camp you want. And then take your fucking red. That's all I fucking want. You are giving up so much free pressure, so much experience, so much gold. Just because you value pressure way too fucking much early game. Early game is meh. It doesn't really mean a lot when you're playing Diana jungle. Because when you're playing Diana jungle, you should not be thinking,
I don't
I'm gonna put a lot of early pressure
I
on
don't
your bot. Because,
I
like
don't
you
understand
said,
what you're
Diana is
bitching
a
about
fucking garbage
because
jungler.
I got both buffs early. I don't understand what you're bitching about, like what exactly your point is. Because I decided to stick around bot and help get them ahead instead of immediately going to my red. Yes, that's a choice I made and that I feel justified in making because our bot lane was doing good.
Alright.
So I'm perfectly justified in that.
No, you're not.
Yes,
Sorry,
I am. Because you disagree does not make me wrong. That's what you need to understand about having an argument.
It's not just me disagreeing. I guarantee you, if you go on Reddit and ask what's more important, getting a fucking early game gank as Diana or taking your 3 buffs, everyone except if they're in bronze will say, yeah, take your fucking second.
Really. All right, let me test this theory real quick.
So important.
Let me test this theory real quick.
You do not realize how fucking important your buffs are.
Ah.
I'm sorry, you cannot
Let me see
even
something.
fucking appreciate how important your early buffs are. And if you can't fucking accept that, then dude, you should not be fucking jungling. Play mid. I'll fucking switch champs, literally, if you stop playing Diana jungle, if you can't accept this. But seriously, your early buffs are so fucking important. Like, holy shit, man. So important, and you really need to accept that. Like, you're just kind of brushing it off like,
I'm testing your theory.
Later into the game. That's fucking stupid. That, like, hell fucking no. You have to learn how fucking important your early buffs are. Like, Jesus Christ. It's so fucking bad, man. Like, you say you do this route because any competent jungler, right? Any competent jungler who doesn't take their first 2 buffs is not a competent jungler. I'm sorry, I know that's really fucking mean, but you need to fucking hear it, because you're just basically plugging your ears and saying, no, but like, early pressure is super important, blah, 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 blah,
the funny thing is, you're the one ignoring everything that disproves
you.
you.
How many games are decided in the first 3 minutes?
This patch, not so many. Yeah. Yet you're saying giving up my buffs in the first 3 minutes, it will apparently affect that. So
we're talking around, or not the very late of end game, the very late of early game. We're talking around like 10 minutes in, or like straight in team fight phase. Like, we're talking middle of mid game. You know, right when the lanes are starting to get cleared and everyone's starting to group up. That's where games are won. That's where snowballs happen. That's where advantages happen. You can convert an advantage from a lane into a teamfight advantage, and you just have to be able to learn how to do that. And giving up your first buffs is the first mistake. No, sorry, is the first, like, check mark in how to not snowball your advantage. Let me ask you what's stronger, a Diana with double buffs that's level 3, or a Diana that's level 2 and just got a double kill for their bot lane? It's gonna be the fucking double buffed level 3 Diana. That's always stronger. People underestimate how much damage red buff done. Red buff does. It's fucking crazy. It does a lot of goddamn
Damn it,
damage.
Will.
Like, you need to honestly start red. Start red if you can't, if you don't believe me. It's super fucking strong. Red buff is crazy good. You really need to learn that. Like, your early buffs are so fucking important. They add so much damage. Let's see. Let's look up Elder Lizard damage. God damn it. All right. All right. Let's look up red buff. Look up red buff. Let's see how much damage this is. Crest of the cinders. Okay. So, slows move speed. All right. It does percent health damage, right? 1, 3, and then 9% of maximum health. That's like every 6 levels or so. That's a lot of fucking damage. Like, that's like, all right, that's fuck. Let's say an average Lee Sin at level 3 has around like 500 health. That's lowballing it because I'm pretty sure that's lower. That's an extra 5 damage on top of that's like per 5 seconds, right? That's a pretty good, that's a good burn, you know. And on top of the slow with Diana's passive that does a fuck ton of damage, which is Diana's highest scaling ability. Diana with the red and a blue buff is like insanely hard to beat. Like, a level 1 Lee Sin might be able to do it if he plays the fight really well, but like, you really like underestimate how much you can do with a fucking like double buff Diana. I understand that you want early pressure. That's great. But delay that early pressure by an extra fucking minute and you'll get like 3 times as strong by getting your red buff. And not to mention your ganks will also get it better because you'll have a slow on top of your already E. So you can walk in auto, they'll get slowed, and then when they flash away, you can E. And you'll pull them back in. Like, delay the early pressure by 30 seconds, and you'll increase your power by a lot. You'll increase your ganking power. You might not get a kill, but you can be damn sure you're going to get 2 flashes, a heal, and an exhaust. And that's fucking massive. That's enough of an advantage. That's arguably better than getting a first blood. First blood can give you a very like short-term advantage, but if you're able to push them out of lane, push the wave up into tower, let the waves reset, let your carry back by 2 longswords or a longsword and some potions, whatever, that's a really fucking big advantage to have over someone. Extra 10 AD means a lot of damage that stacks up, and if you have someone on your team like Vayne who can scale pretty fucking well, like, that's great. That's exactly what you need. Now, Zyra Caitlyn, that's a hard fucking lane to beat. It's great that you got a double kill for them level 1, but do I want you every single game to skip your red buff and go down bot lane? No, because in the end, it's just not worth it. You're gonna lose more games because of that strat than you're gonna win doing it. Like, oh, that game wasn't decided by that level 3 gank, but it could have been decided if you went for a level 3 off of red and blue and then gank top on Tryndamere. I mean, that's all I'm saying. You just
Now,
you have a really cookie cutter method of playing League, and it's not good. It's not good. You need to adapt. You need to change. The person
now,
who goes into a game of League of Legends thinking or knowing exactly what they're going to do is someone called a loser, because they're just wrong, and that's the truth.
okay, so talking about ganking the top lane, which was doing just fine on his own, was constantly shoving and was able to generate kills and pressure, or gank the bot lane that's completely shoved up, and then we got 2 kills from because I didn't run top and then all the way back. Pretty easy decision to make.
Yeah, I acknowledge that your level 3 or your level early fucking game, however, whatever fucking level you were, that was a good idea that game. But just that game,
Which was
use
just the game we
gank.
played.
Dude, yeah, I know. I fucking acknowledge it was a good decision. But in every fucking game we play, man, you give up so much fucking shit. You, like, That was the first game I've seen you get first blood off of a gank since we've played. And we played like 5 games together. That's terrible. That's not a good
You okay? One you have to you have to realize that I'm playing Diana. Don't have a lot of pressure, so ganks are hard to come by. Second, I've been playing a Lee every game, and guess what?
Path every game.
Okay, and what? And why does that not? Why does that matter if I'm not going to be useful until 6 anyways? I'm against a Lee Sin. No. I'm against a Lee Sin. And you know what Lee Sin? You know what? No. You know what Lee Sin does to me? You know what Lee Sin does to me? If he catches me taking hits from red, Lee Sin kills me at red for first blood.
And it's like, oh, I'm super fucking scared, so I'm not gonna step in my red buff because I'm a giant pussy.
I know the matchup better than you. I lose that matchup. Yes, I do.
Lee an early fucking advantage. He can hit.
Guess what? Here's what happens in your world. Here's what happens in your world. I go from blue and then I go to red. He kills me at red and then he takes red. So now he gets my buff and he gets first blood. So you have terrible logic. I'd rather give up a red buff than give up first blood, which is much better. No, you're trying to justify the fact that you think you're right. You're trying to justify the fact that you think you're right and you refuse to see any other way. That's the funny thing. And see, while I love to argue, I can always admit when I'm wrong.
You can't get fucking counter jungled on Ivern. It's impossible. So stop fucking trying. Like, if you want to get early pressure on Diana, good for fucking you. But you're going to be sacrificing so much in the long run.
It doesn't matter if I have a bot lane who ends the game by 20 minutes. You have to realize I'd rather give up.
Fuck up bot lane. All right, stop talking about bot lane.
Then stop talking about red like it ends the game. Wait, hold up. You just told me yourself that games are decided not in the first 3 minutes. Yet you're acting like I'd lose the game for us by giving up red.
Just shut up.
You gotta use your own logic here. That's what you don't understand.
Shut up.
You're the one still talking though.
Shut up. Okay?
Do you like hearing the sound of your voice?
If you are actually that retarded that you think fucking skipping your red buff for a chance at getting early pressure is worth it, you are actually fucking bronze 5. I don't know how you climbed out, but apparently you did.
One, that's because I usually make good shuckles. And two, yes, it is. Blowing.
Like, you're actually fucking retarded if you're trying to justify this to me. Like, do you need someone to help you?
I'm not trying to justify anything to you because I know you're wrong.
Or is it like, Nurse, I want to go to the bathroom. And then she comes over and is like, all right, little Timmy, we're going to tie your shoes here. Blah, 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 blah. Like, is that how your fucking life goes? Because, dude, you're actually fucking retarded if you're trying to get this shit justified. Like, you're wrong. I'm sorry. You're fucking wrong. You're just wrong. You, as a person in this scenario right now, are wrong. I don't give a fuck if you got counter jungled one game. I don't give a fuck if you think that getting early pressure on Diana is worth it. All you need to know is that if I play Diana jungle against your Diana jungle, I would fucking shit on you. I'm sorry, I would fucking shit on you. I would out-farm the fuck out of you. You act like farming in the jungle is a hard thing to do. It's fucking not. I could go Sated Devourer Trinity Force and whoop your fucking ass. Because you don't fucking understand the mechanics of the jungle, when to do what. It's fucking
once
fantastic.
Again, it's more assumptions. I told you yesterday, I told you yesterday, my biggest weakness as a jungler is farming. I can do perfectly fine early game, but then I just fall off later on.
That must be worth it. I'm sorry, you are fucking retarded if you think that's worth it. You are actually fucking retarded and you need to change the way you play if you ever want to get better. Ever. Change the way you play, and I promise you, if I ever get matched up with you, against you in solo queue as jungle, I am going to fucking eviscerate you.
Wait, hold up. My friend.
So fucking bad.
My friend who was gold 1. Okay, so quick question. Would you give up red buff level 3 as a Diana for 2 kills bot? Yes. No hesitation. So, maybe you should stop to think that I have plenty of higher elo friends. And trust me, they give me tons of advice. And guess what? I'm happy to take your advice, but lose the condescending tone and accept the fact that and I'll explain to you why I make each decision. And you can disagree with it, and I might agree with why you disagreed with it. But at the same time, if I see a benefit in doing this, I'm gonna take it. And there's no need to like be angry about it. Like this conversation doesn't need to be angry. Like I appreciate you trying to help me, but don't be so condescending in the process of doing it. All right. He left. That was great. So, oh, he left it too. Wait, did he delete me? Let's see. Did he delete me? I think he did delete me. Ah, wait. Did he delete me? He deleted me. Oh, I'm dying. See, now, let me explain to you. First off, whether I made mistakes or not, that's debatable because you have to realize that each game is different and like you have to understand like okay so I start blue as Diana, I then go Grump and then I go Wolves for level 3, and then by the time I'm done with that, Scuttle is up, so I go secure Scuttle because that's what a decent early jungler does. You secure Scuttle for vision. Then I look bot lane and I see the enemy bot lane shoved up to basically tower. Easy ganks to decide, so we go there, we get a double kill because of it. That's perfectly justifiable. And the thing he's complaining about, like, I didn't even give up red for that. Now, I was assuming that he took my red because if he was a decent jungler, then he would have, especially since he has early game pressure. And then he's talking about, well, I should go straight from, like, blue to red. Well, I can do that, but that's not very smart because, once again, Lee Sin is a very early jungler. He can outduel most junglers 1v1. So if I'm sitting here taking damage and he gets the jump on me, he will kill me and he'll get the buff on top of that. Then I give up first blood and a buff. And then that's exactly what we don't want to happen. It's just not smart. So yeah, and then the fact that like he refused to listen to reason, like I can kind of understand the points he's making. I think they're misconstrued, and the fact that he thinks he's just straight up better than me, I think is complete bullshit. But he can think whatever he wants. Just like, look, guys, like, as I'm an athlete, so I've been coached and I know how to coach. If you want to coach somebody, don't look down on them. Don't be condescending. Explain to them, look, you made a mistake here. I think if you would have acted in this manner, it would have been better. But when it devolves into an argument where it's no, you did this and no, I did this, and you won't listen to the other side, then there's no point in that argument any longer. Just it's done. So that's like I don't know what to say to that. Like that conversation could have been so much more productive if like he went through the VOD with me like he said he would, and we went over what he viewed as mistakes. Although, what is my cat doing? Although once again, that's only what he views as a mistake. So yes, I gave up pressure on red. Did I get punished for it? No, I could have easily, and I should have. Instead, we got 2 kills bot, and Yasuo misplayed top when he should have had that kill. So I'm not really sure what his point was in all of this. He's like, well, you're doing the same thing every game. Well, you have to realize that I'm an early, like, I have no early pressure unless, like, you're dumb like that and you push up. But if you're a decent bot lane, or any lane for that matter, you should not push up that far where me as a Diana level 3 can gank you. Especially since a lot of Dianas early jungle don't take their E's level 3. They wait till like level 4 or 5. So if I hadn't taken E, there was a good chance we might not have locked up both kills. Turn my mic down a little bit. So with that said, I can see what his point is. However, once again, this is a basic route to go. Start blue, go Gromps, and then from there, that's when your paths branch. You can go Wolves, or you can go straight to red. I chose Wolves because I wanted to come back down for the Scuttle Crab, because once again, there is a Lee Sin that's an early jungler, and I knew Lee Sin started bot side. Well, I didn't know, but it was a safe assumption. So because of that, I thought, okay, what he can do is he can take red, he can take golems, and then he might be able to take raids. After that, he would be in prime position to gank both mid and bot. Now, if you choosing between the two, you want to gank bot lane more often, especially since who was their mid laner there in that situation? It was let's see. Who was their mid laner? It was a Kale. Kale isn't going to put out a whole lot of pressure early game, especially since she doesn't have Ignites. So while you could gank her lane and help shut down the Anivia, it's not a priority compared to like going to bot lane where it's a Caitlyn Zyra, both champions who scale heavily. Now, if you get them ahead, that can completely, run over a game. So it was once again, it's just what jungle is as a position is it's a mind game. You have to track the other, and you have to think, what would he do in this situation? What would I do if I were him? Now, so I secured Scuttle Vision. That's smart. That way, he has to go at least around, and he doesn't have the direct path, which makes his ganks a little bit harder. Especially if our bot lane wards River Bush, and then he has no way in out of vision unless he goes through lane, which is probably the hardest game to pull off. So after that, I saw them pushed up, so I collapsed for 2 kills. Good decision. Now, he's acting like doing the same thing every single game is a bad thing. Say, okay, look, for example, if I was playing Shyvana. Look, if I was playing Shyvana, I would start blue because we're red side and I want the extra clear for my bot lane. I then go Gromps, I then go Wolves, I then go Race, then goes red, then go Krugs, and then I would back, and that would be my first back. I could do a full clear. That's what I would do. Now, while you could do something different, that's the basic formula, because Shyvana is a champion that can do a full clear. That's something that you typically want to do, unless somebody pushes up the tower and they're just begging to get, ganks. Because Shyvana doesn't have the best ganks before she at least gets Blue Smite, because all she can do is run at you. And that's why, and while that there is more variety, as a Diana, up to level 3, there is very little variety. So following the same path when every game is played out the same is perfectly fine. Yeah, I had my blue butts taken from me, but that's not so much on me as it was the fact that it was on the whole team. I had to concede that side of the jungle, but even if I went there, I would have most likely died, and I doubt my team would collapse. So it just wasn't a smart play. I'd rather give up red and I guess the whole pressure for my top side jungle to completely lock down bot side, and then leave my top laner on his own while I get 3 other members of the team fed. That's perfectly fine. But the fact that he tried to sit here and justify why he's right and why I'm wrong and why he could do no wrong, that's when he showed it wasn't that much of an argument or even debate for that matter. He just wanted to hear his own voice and believe that he's right no matter what, and that it's impossible for him to be wrong. And don't get me wrong, I love to argue. I'm hardly ever wrong. I know that. People love to say that I have to be right. Well, I usually am right is the reason why that happens. And I'm perfectly fine admitting when I'm wrong. However, in this situation, I don't believe I'm wrong. And there's no way to prove I'm wrong because it's a matter of opinion. And I can explain to you, through each step, why I did what I did. And there's always a counter. If I didn't do this, I could have done this. And as a result, this would happen. But then you get into possibilities. and there's an infinite number of possibilities, especially in a game that's ever changing, when anything can happen at any second. So there's no point in arguing that. Now, if say I'm 1v1ing the Lee and I flash his Q and kill him compared to not flashing his Q and dying, that's a little more cut and dry. But even then, it's still like not. There's no for sure thing. Now I'm extremely positive in the fact that Lee could duel me level 3, especially if he gets a jump on me at red. So say I'm half health taking red, he lands a Q on me, he can kill me and then he take buff. So that's not smart. So if you want to take anything away from this, it's like understand that you can never be completely static and read chat. Need to read chat. Join me for norms. I think the funniest part about that was he was so upset that I refused to say, "Oh yeah, man, you're right. I'm completely wrong." That he unfriended me. I think that's the funniest part. Like, I am happy to like argue with you about anything, but like be friendly at the end. Like, don't just be like, "All right, I yelled at him. I made my point." Although you could tell from the chats that he was the type that would flame. So you do what you got to do. But what? He was your friend? I'm too lazy to type. Basically, I made a post on Reddit and I was like, "Hey, I'm looking for a group of guys to do flex queue with, to climb, and then to like stream it, and then like make content for it. Like say for example, Spazzy and his group, CG, something in that vein." So he replied. I added him, and we played for a few hours yesterday, and it went pretty well. We overall, I think we're like 3-1 or 4-1, something like that. We had a good win record, and he was a little bit toxic, but I was like I have the video for it from the stream yesterday where I explained to him like you can't really tell somebody in the middle of the game what they did wrong. You have to kind of like wait until after and be like, "Hey man, you did this here. I think if you did this, you would have had like this impact and it would have been different." But you can't just straight up tell somebody you did something wrong because if you're in a game, they did what they believe is right, and it's perfectly fine for that. For you can tell them they did wrong, but it's not going to accomplish anything. If anything, it'll just tilt them. So leave it for after game, and even then, like understand why they did it. Like making a simple mistake of like missing a smite or flashing. That's one thing, but decision making, it's debatable because you can never know what each outcome would be because we don't have the ability to like generate that. So you just gotta keep that in mind. So if anything, when you're trying to explain to somebody what they do wrong, like say, "Hey man, if you do this next time, I believe it'll work out a lot better for you." Like there's nothing passive aggressive about that. There's nothing aggressive about that. That's giving your opinion in a friendly manner, and then it's up to them whether they want to implement it or not. But don't be a dick like him. And there's a very good chance that he will get chat restricted at some point, especially with those logs. But I think I'm gonna end the stream here. That was eventful to say the least. Hopefully, like we can avoid toxic people like him from now on, and of course, I'll have to find new people. But I think like the biggest sign that you don't want to be friends or play with somebody is when they say, "Hey, I'm better than you," like flat out, like I would destroy you in his words. Which is weird because then he's talking about like the build he's going is pure farming, whereas mine is more team fight and utility. So yeah, of course you would out farm me. And I even told him on stream yesterday, my biggest weakness as a jungler is farming. Like I don't know at what point it is. I'd have to watch like my logs, but at some point I just stop farming and I spend more time either like dead or running between objectives trying to secure vision and stuff. There's some point where I just stop farming. I think like even my longest games, like 50, 60 minutes, the most farm I get is like I think the highest I've ever gotten is 250, which it's not that good. And while you have to realize this is solo queue and you can't win based on farm alone unless you have good lanes where you're free to just farm up. See, for example, Cloud9 in Season 3. They storm onto the scene. Meteos was known as the farming jungle because he would farm so much and rarely gank, and that's because he had lanes that could win on their own. In solo queue, I don't have that. So my bot lane, they're getting constantly pushed in. They're gonna lose on CS. I doubt they're gonna win that 2v2 because they had a weaker 2v2. Mid lane, he's a good Anivia, so I'm confident in his abilities to do just fine. Whereas top lane is extremely volatile, and Yasuo has the advantage until level 6. Afterwards, Tryndamere has that advantage depending on how the lane matchup goes. So the two lanes that I want to affect most are top and bottom. Uh, However, I felt that there wasn't too much like point in helping out top because he was either getting kills on his own or he was overextending, and we don't win that 2v2 unless I can pull both of them with my E, which isn't super likely. So there are lessons to be learned from like that game and the chats, but at the same time, you just have to know like when it's time to drop it and move on. And yeah, he did say one thing good, and that's treat each game like it's different because it is. You don't want to go tilted into the next game because of what happened last game because that will affect your performance. Anyways, I am going to end the stream now on that note. I hope you guys enjoyed it, maybe learned something, or at least enjoyed his banter. I'll see you guys. Peace.